A constant in the Star Wars galaxy is the battle between the light and the dark side of the Force, and the heroic or even villainous traits that accompany those who wield it. Today, we discuss one of three dark side Force users, 4,000 years before the Galactic Civil War. This particular Sith Lord is a special case, being one of, if not the, most powerful Sith Lord the galaxy has ever seen, possessing the power to strip people of their life force, who survived an event which decimated a planet and turned him into nothing but a monster, a void, an entity that craved nothing but the force energy of other beings. Today, we discuss the Lord of Hunger, Darth Nihilus. You may find this hard to believe after we discuss the horrors that Nihilus committed and was a part of, but he was once human, a Jedi no less, serving alongside the Jedi Exile and Revan in the Mandalorian Wars. This group of Jedi split away from the original Jedi Council on Coruscant and across the galaxy because of the Jedi's inaction against the ravaging of other worlds by the Mandalorians. Revan and his apprentice Malak were the ones who led this exodus from the Jedi Order and took the war to the Mandalorians. One of the final battles in the Mandalorian Wars was the Battle of Malachor V. Malachor V was a planet that was somewhat taboo in Mandalorian culture and history, a taboo that Revan and his movement exploited to gain victory. The battle was intense and saw many events happen within it that would change the galaxy forever. Mandalore the Ultimate was slain in battle by Revan himself. And as Nihilus and many other Jedi fought the Mandalorians on the ground of Malachor, Mitra Surik and Bao-Dur activated a super weapon which was ordered by Revan. This super weapon was named the Mass Shadow Generator, and saw the entire planet and all that surrounded it decimated. Nihilus was one of these victims. The planet's gravity and surface were corrupted and disturbed. All those that inhabited it during the battle were killed by the super weapon, or left slowly to die on the planet's surface. Nihilus, for better or worse, survived, but he was broken. All of his friends that accompanied him at that battle were gone, lost to the Mass Shadow Generator. This mass death caused Nihilus to grieve uncontrollably. The grief he felt consumed him and pushed him away from the light side of the Force. He was now known as a wound in the Force. As Nihilus was stranded on the dying world, he unintentionally drained another survivor of their life force, which sustained him oddly, but revealed the dark truth. Nihilus was relieved of his emotional pain at a cost for an undying, crippling hunger. A hunger which could only be fulfilled by draining the life force of others. The feeding of life force from others was an act that absolved Nihilus for a short while of the pain he felt. But every time he fed, his hunger got worse, and so did his pain. As Nihilus haunted the brutalized surface of Malachor V, he was discovered by another traveler. This traveler was a human woman, a Sith Lord. This Dark Lord had sensed Nihilus's presence through the Force and identified him as a wound. This woman also informed Nihilus that his hunger was a result of the Force, and she could teach him not to just devour the life of people, but to drain and consume entire worlds. Nihilus accepted, and was taken to a hidden academy on Malachor. Nihilus was trained under Darth Traya, the name of the woman, alongside her other apprentice Darth Sion as a Sith Lord. This is where the man took up the title of Darth Nihilus, as well as the Lord of Hunger, and began walking his path as future Eater of Worlds. This was the formation of the Sith Triumvirate, a very rare appearance in the galaxy. Usually the Sith would travel in duos, Master and Apprentice, later refined by Darth Bane as the rule of two. A few examples of this could be Revan and Malak, or Vader and Sidious, but the Sith Triumvirate were a rare exception, one of the only times we've seen this in galactic history. Darth Traya eventually got to her promise of teaching Nihilus how to consume entire planets, for no reason but to soothe his hunger, pushing him further to becoming a non-caring, all-consuming void. As he consumed, His hunger got stronger, but so did his power, and soon enough he was seen as one of the most powerful Sith Lords in history. At the height of Darth Nihilus' power, the Triumvirate grew somewhat divided in their goals of wiping out the Jedi. Darth Nihilus in particular wanted to swiftly take the Jedi out by consuming them, in which Sion agreed. With Darth Sion and Darth Nihilus' agreement, Nihilus and Sion would overthrow Darth Traya and exile her from the Sith Triumvirate. With the two Sith Lords' combined power, her Force energy was weakened extremely by Nihilus, in which the two would go on to rule their Sith army. The two Sith Lords would go about their destruction of the Jedi in separate ways, though they were also considered allies. Darth Nihilus in particular wanted to travel the edges of known space, and consume all that got in his way, Jedi or not, to sustain his hunger. After some time, Darth Nihilus' body became eroded, decaying because of his sheer connection to the dark side. It was at this point he used the dark side of the Force to bestow his soul into his robes and his iconic mask, which saw him slowly begin to transform from a broken man to an all-consuming void with no face behind his fear-inducing mask. As Darth Nihilus' reign of terror continued on, a Jedi Master known as Atris had organized a meeting of the Jedi on the Miraluka planet of KOTOR. The Miraluka were a Force-sensitive species that relied on the Force to see, as they were born without eyes. This was a bountiful feast in the eyes of the Lord of Hunger, especially after hearing of the Jedi gathering. Nihilus consumed the entire surface of the planet, and killed a large number of the Miraluka and the Jedi, leaving only one non-survivor. Nihilus traveled to the surface himself, and found the sole survivor, who was named Visas Ma. He took Visas aboard his ship, and claimed her to be an apprentice of sorts. Why Nihilus did this is still puzzling to many people. Many presume it would be hard for this void of death to feel sadness, remorse, guilt, or sympathy. Even when Visas asks Nihilus herself why he spared her, he does not answer, only shows her a vision of the galaxy, which cripples her vision through the Force momentarily. The planet of Onderon during the time after the Jedi Civil War was a troubled land. The capital city of Isis was rife with riots. Support for the Queen dwindled, and with her, the Republic, as General Vaklu gained support from the people. Little did any Onderonians know that General Vaklu and his second-in-command Colonel Tobin were under the influence of Darth Nihilus. Nihilus planned to use Onderon and its moon of Duxan as a staging ground for the Sith army, and to further feed Nihilus' power and hunger. During this time, another wound in the Force appeared, in which Nihilus could not first identify it. But Visas could, and so he sent Visas to find the source and bring it before him so he may consume them. Eventually, Visas would be defeated and would start to question her master. This same wound in the Force also disrupted Darth Nihilus' operations on Onderon and Duxan by thwarting the Sith ritual on Duxan with the aid of the Mandalorians, as well as the execution of General Vaklu on Onderon, resulting in a Republic victory. Darth Nihilus was then informed of a Jedi Academy on Telos, in which he arrived and began his plan to consume the entire planet via the Battle of Telos 4. During the attack, the Republic came to aid and defended Citadel Station from Nihilus' forces while a tense space battle went on. While the battle raged on, Mitra Surik, one of Revan's old generals from the Mandalorian Wars, alongside Mandalore the Preserver and Visas Ma, boarded the Dark Lord ship known as the Ravager, and began their assault on the ship, attempting to find Darth Nihilus. When finding him, Darth Nihilus then tried to drain the life force of Mitra, but failed, as she was the wound in the Force he had been looking for all this time, and was able to draw Force power from those around her. This attempt exhausted Nihilus, and would eventually lead to his defeat. That was the full story of Darth Nihilus, the Lord of Hunger. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and share, and comment your thoughts on Darth Nihilus in the comments. If you would like to get access to cool perks and early access to future content and exclusive development live streams, consider becoming a member on the channel. I like the names I'm about to read out. Many thanks to Cypriot Fox, TKS Mantis, Bonk, Lovable Douchebag, Splicer87 and Broadway. You're all awesome and I thank you very much for supporting the way you do. If you'd like an epic shout out at the end of each video, consider becoming a member on my channel. This has been The Wanderer, and may the Force be with you.